Have you envisioned AI doing beyond its typical tasks? Imagine the possibilities when AI matches or surpasses human abilities. Visualize AI helping us uncovering hidden talents and gaining deeper self-insights. Introducing iBlooming, where your journey to self-realization begins. Powered by our innovative open AI technology, iBlooming is designed to help you uncover and nurture you. At iBlooming, we leverage big data and extensive historical insights to craft detailed AI-driven profiles that provide profound understanding of your personality and capabilities. At iBlooming, personalized profiling guides you to your unique goals with tailored courses, enhancing your growth and equipping you for success in diverse fields. iBlooming brings the world to your doorstep with multiple language selections through seamless AI translation.
Courage हमें तरीकों और जीवन के पहलुओं में मदद करता है. Pertama, memberikan kemampuan.
This global knowledge base not only broadens your perspective but also enriches your learning experience. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, an experienced professional, or an inquisitive student, iBlooming localizes content to guide you towards a successful and fulfilling future. Beyond your own growth, you can empower others and contribute to their growth by becoming a channel provider and sharing your unique talents, experiences, and ideas through the platform. Join us at iBlooming and embark on a transformative journey to bloom into your full potential. Let's bloom together in this exciting adventure of self-discovery and personal growth.
In today's fast-paced world, artificial intelligence is transforming the world, automating tasks and reshaping the job market. Millions of jobs are at risk of being replaced by AI. At the same time, AI is helping people achieve greater success in the business world. The question is, are you ready to adapt and thrive in this new era? The key to success is mastering more knowledge, acquiring new skills, and broadening your horizons to meet the demands of today's rapidly changing world. We are proud to introduce the solution, iBlooming, an AI-based learning platform. One of our revolutionary learning concepts is the Global iLearning Movement, GIM. Our mission is simple, to foster a lifelong learning attitude globally. We offer high value, high benefits, and a super low cost. You gain exclusive access to live seminars and content from renowned speakers and coaches around the world. Typically, this could cost hundreds to thousands of dollars, but with the GIM concept, the cost is incredibly low, only $2 per month. So everyone can learn from local and global experts. We not only provide a wide range of topics, subjects, knowledge, and skills, but also a lot more benefits. Learning opportunities from both local and global experts, covering a wide selection of topics or subjects. Opportunities to connect with experts who offer special micro-certifications. Need a specific skill to thrive in this new AI world? Our on-demand videos from global speakers are ready whenever you need them. Learn anytime, anywhere. Connect directly with our channel providers for personalized mentoring and coaching. Get the guidance you need to excel in your career. Personalized learning topics based on your profile through AI and big data. Translations provided by iBlooming's in-house AI team, allowing learners to understand foreign experts in their own language. A variety of topics ranging from casual to professional. Flexibility to learn when and where you want. Skills that schools don't teach, keeping pace with the AI era, and unlocking new opportunities for personal development, financial growth, and holistic success. Sign up now at iBlooming and take the first step towards a brighter, more successful future. Only $2 per month. Don't wait for the future to pass you by. Upskill yourself today and join the global iLearning movement.
You know, if you know Bekasi, if you know Jakarta, Bekasi is not very far away from Jakarta. Maybe only 1 hour with the traffic. Okay. 1 hour is not very far in here, right? Because of the traffic. So I would like to know where you are from. Can you please chat? Maybe your name, where you are from, the city, the country, and maybe what time it is. I believe that some of you now are in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, right? Okay, here, good evening, Kim Sol from Cambodia, in Sipang. So sorry if I mispronounce your names. Also from Cambodia. Good morning. Qatar, good afternoon. Oh, 3 p.m. from Qatar, Pamuklis. Welcome, Pamuklis. And Cambodia also, Sokunti, Dr. Mansarin, Dari, and also Mr. Kenbei, of course, yeah, from Singapore, and Won Chaya, Lani from Jakarta, Indonesia. Cambodia again, 7 p.m. the same. Yes. From Hong Kong, Joanne, welcome. Also Jakarta, South Jakarta, Saskia. Getty from BSD Tangerang. And good morning, Phnom Penh, Vana. Narti Magelang, Indonesia. Oh, Cambodia again. So many people are from Cambodia. Thank you so much for being here. Also, Bandung, Malaysia. Australia, Nigeria. Wow, nice. So far away from here. Hong Kong again, and also north of Jakarta. And Cambodia again. Okay. Here it says, good evening, Mr. Ken. Can wait learning from you. Oh, that's right. We can't wait to learn from this very amazing speaker today. Okay. But beforehand, there will be some announcement to make. Okay. Be patient. Yeah. I believe that you cannot wait to learn. All right. But I have something to show, tell you here that today's event will be conducted in English. All right. And live interpretation is available in Bahasa Indonesia, Khmer, Mandarin, and Cantonese. So you can click the channel, the interpretation channel. If you are at the laptop, then you can go to the one below. There is a globe there, interpretation, and you choose your language. Okay. But for other languages, you can use caption feature for the translations. Okay. Is everything okay? Okay. If there is something, there is maybe some constraint, you can always chat. All right. I will try to help you. And also, there will be a Q&A session with the speaker after the sharing. If you already have questions during the session, then feel free to type in the chat room. Okay, we don't have the Q&A room; it is only chat room. Yeah, and don't hesitate also to support me and support the speaker as well, and support each other by sending emojis. Why don't we try now sending emojis? I want to see some emojis and reactions also. All right. Thank you for the love and love and love. Here also some more from Cambodia again. Good evening from Jakarta, from Bekasi. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for the reactions and emojis. So now it's very fun. Yeah. Now, without any further ado, of course, yeah, I believe that you are very curious about what we are going to learn. As usual, every day we learn something new in GIM. But today is very special. I feel very lucky to be with someone as per his caliber. All right. So today we will learn from the amazing Mr. Ken Bay. He is actually a renowned financial expert with 28 years of experience in Asia's markets. Has guided 21 Great Eastern agents to MDRT success, master compounding strategies in finance, knowledge, habits, and relationships to build wealth, wisdom, and lasting success. And investing your time wisely in the market creates exponential growth. Secure your financial freedom today. So if you want to secure your financial freedom today, then you have to really don't blink. Don't blink and pay attention, okay? Because he is going to talk about high touch skills, harsh reality of today's change, which is I believe that we really need it. All right. So let us together help me to welcome Mr. Ken Bay. Hello, Ken. How are you doing?
Yes, good evening,
Very
everyone
happy.
all over the world from my
Okay. Very happy to see you again.
Same here,
You look great.
always.
Okay, now the time is yours.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me back again. I know many of y'all has known me, and I've disappeared for a little while.
Some
there's-
say here, hello, Mr. Ken, we miss you. See?
yeah, I know.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. I am really, really honored to be a part of iBlooming. And I remember that when I started with iBlooming, building up GIM, the Khmer people was wonderful. You know, the spirits that they gather around, and the way they wanted to build Cambodia makes a lot of difference. And I always say that they are a bunch of people that makes a lot of difference, and I love them all. All right, Indonesia I've cultivated a lot of friends in Indonesia now. Well, it is all coming from iBlooming, and I'm super honored. And when Giuliani called me up and needed me to speak, well, I am always around, and I'm happy to be here today. Now, so today is a very serious session because we're gonna have a little discussions of how the world have changed. And I'm not going to dwell so much on how AIs and the rest has changed. Let's focus on what we can do to challenge ourselves, to break the limit, and to learn a relevant knowledge that you could apply it to the real world. I met a friend who works with the Career Center in Singapore. It was a very sad moment when I met him, because he was already in the retirement mode, and Singaporeans work, because we all know that when we are healthy and well, we wanted to participate in the changes of the world. So this friend of mine was tasked to counsel those that got fired from their job. And he said this to me in a very sympathetic tones on many of the 80,000 of Singaporeans been fired. All right. And these people, surprisingly, is at the C-level, which means that many of them are in the senior positions. So can you imagine that you are like 40 over years old on the corporates where your work ahead of you looks fantastic, and suddenly you are replaced by AI. and he was sharing with me that every time he speak to this group of people, some of them were sad, of course some cried, and some were struggling to come back, because it takes a lot of ego to be able to get back to the classroom and learn from something, so that they can build on it to find another job. Singapore has been a place where government throw in a lot of investments on reskill and upskills. Particularly for people like me, when I decided that, I don't want to be a speaker, I wanted to be a storekeeper. They will probably pay me money to become a storekeeper. And just for your information, most of our courses that are being held in Singapore today is to encourage people to upskill themselves towards AI. Now, AI is a bubble now. You look at the top companies in the world, that share price has rocketed up the skies, and we all know that is really a bubble, all right? But the reality is that AI is making changes. Look at these particular slides, ladies and gentlemen. AI doesn't demand permissions right now. It doesn't. It it is a reality that gets into our doorsteps, no? In the past, we Google, but now we check GPT, yeah? So you know that our heart shares now have shifted. Our compass, our mental compass, and our knowledge compass has changed. All right, from Google all to ChatGPT. God knows what will come as we move along. So you can see from some of the statistics that I pick up from ChatGPT. All right, what I wanted to share with you in the nutshell is that about 40 to 50% of people today are worried about their job. All right. Many big companies, like I just got back from Vietnam, some of the very big company has replaced their middle management people because of AI changes. Now, so like it or you don't, AI has already rewritten the game. Okay, the games has changed. Everything has changed. The day when I was the early starters of sales AI, those were the day that I thought I would pioneer the world. But when ChatGPT comes out, I throw away everything and start relearning myself so that I can position myself forward. So what I wanted to put a serious note to this careers of yours and as much as mine is that, look here, it is time to not just change, all right? It is time to force yourself forward. You don't have a choice, I keep saying. The problem is sometimes we have a lot of choice, but when we take it that we don't have a choice, the only way is going up. No, there's always a saying, my way or the highway, all right. So today I'm going to speak about my perspective of what way should we take. All right. What are the possibilities that we can reposition ourselves? What are the serious knowledge that we need to pick up? All right. And more important is what is actually the skills that we can position ourselves so that we can and we will never be replaced by the threats of changes of the world. Now, you need to know that why iBlooming has set up GIM purely because we wanted to bring the top people to the world because we know that there are a lot of unfortunate people out there. They are not access to good training, good knowledge, probably good mentorships. And we have many in GIM with the iBlooming. We have our profiling program that helps a person to understand themselves better. And what we are doing is that we are making a difference to the world to start with, because we are pursuing your friend, you, to upskill yourself and then to reskill yourself so that you stay relevant for the rest of your career. All right. So having to say this, everything like the days of internet has changed the world. Today, the AI has rewrites the game. Okay. So with this perspective in mind, we're going to get into what I feel we need to reposition ourselves, change our mindset, and probably think about how we can move yourself forward based on what you are doing. All right. I'm going to quickly go into this particular slice. When you look at this particular diagram, you would be able to, it's such a simple, straightforward diagram. All right. You can see that there's these three quadrant. Number one is from process to high tech to high touch. Now you can take it in both ways. I thought that traditionally, every one of us were taught in the business environment, or the way we learn, the way we build business, the way we interact with people. We always say is that people don't care until they know you care. All right. People don't trust you until they trust you, they will buy from you. So the big word called trust has always been with us, right, since the day we get into the business. Okay? We know that building trust is so important. But we all also know that building trust, you all know that today many people lose money because of trusting friends. Isn't that true? I'm sure you have come across many of these people that they trusted some people, they put their money there, and eventually they lost their money. So trust is really an overstated words. Let's take a step backward and think about this other word called belief. Okay. Now, it is really important to know that we all have to make someone believe in us so that we can build trust. So you notice that we build belief before we build trust. Okay. Now, for your information, building belief is a skill. Okay. You can't demand trust until you deserve it. Make sense? So it is rather important to understand that you cannot demand trust, but you can make the persons believe you. And making the persons believe you is a skill. All right. You probably don't need to agree at the moment, but it is important to know that between belief and trust is a factors of time. Meaning to say that over time, when a person's believe you, all right, belief plus time will eventually become a trust. Isn't it true? Now, having to say this, it is really, really important to start looking at skill rather than the word trust itself. All right. Because building belief is a process. Trust is the outcome. Okay. So don't overwhelm yourself with this word trust, as I said in my promotional videos. All right. I am advocate of process. So traditionally, every sales leader, every businesses, every traditional businessman always says that, oh, we need to build trust. We need to bring the persons to KTV. We need to bring the persons to lunches and dinner and give them gifts so that they can trust us. All right. But trust is the outcome of what you have done to build belief in this case. So take note of this to start with. Now, traditionally, everyone wants to build trust because they know that with trust, it will then be possible to do a lot of things, a lot of business. So as a result of this, traditionally, every one of us build thinking of how to build trust. Our businesses are all centered around building trust. Okay. So as a result of that, we spend a lot of money, we spend a lot of time with the persons and thinking that this is trust. Okay. Now, if you speak to the younger groups of people today, right, I felt that they have changed. They don't, you tell them, say that, oh, you're gonna become a millionaire tomorrow. They will ask you this question. They'll challenge you this question. Show me the process. I can see that you got private jet. I can see that you got big houses and all. But I admire you, but show me the process of getting there. So you are challenged on the process. So another perspective, ladies and gentlemen, to look at is the demands, the new demands of process and results. Okay? And I can also challenge you today that anyone that you are trying to recruit them to your business or to be your partners or to join you on some ventures and so on, they don't want you just to inspire them. Inspiring is about selling. For obvious reason, it's leadership. But many of the people are now demanding for what is the process? What is the step-by-step process for me to become like you, right? A millionaire, all right? A person that can afford private jet and can afford anything in the world. I need that process, ladies and gentlemen. So you see that there is a split perspective. right? This is typically very true for me when I spend a great deal of my time doing business consultancy for traditional business people in Vietnam. Okay, their business are run by family members and so on. Right? Every time I show them a process, they will always tell me, "Ken, you don't understand my culture. We don't need that one. We only build trust and we get a business." While that is true, the problem they are facing now is that many of the traditional family-based business has never been taken over by their children. So now they are suffering. Now they are suffering from the fact that they don't know how to transfer their business to their children. Okay. So you see that process really increasingly becoming a demand. All right. The critical part of changes. So remember this, when someone tell you about being strategic, I think that strategy is outdated. All right. Tactical, your tactics, your step-by-step process to result, in my opinion, are even more important, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So remember this. If you understand that there is a process to everything that you do, you also would appreciate something that is really, really changing the world. That will be high tech. Okay? You notice that whenever we have a good process, normally we would then be able to move on to technology. And it is now software engineer need a process to set up an applications. Okay, so you notice that the first world, like Singapore, many people in the first world are the one that's going to be very, very far affected, very greatly affected by the AI. Because what the AI does is that it takes your process and create some intelligence around it and deliver the task accordingly. Okay, so that's the reason why you find that the people, as they get a little bit higher and higher, they'll be thinking about how to turn their process into AI these days. So remember that whatever you do, you got to ask yourself, what is the process to results? What is my process to results? If I'm in sales, what is the step-by-step process for me to achieve the results? The reason you need to do this, and I keep emphasizing this, because you'll find that it is so easy for you to adopt effectively AI, okay? Because the AI does the same thing and demand the same thing from you. That is to create prompter. So you create the prompter and the prompters are set up by process. You got to suggest to the AI that number one step, you need to do this. For example, I want to be a successful salesperson. My first step is show me how do I generate qualified leads, right? And after that, how do I prepare myself to speak with this CEO's leads, right? When I see the person, what do I need to do? You see, that is the step by step. And ChatGPT gives you the solutions, give you the options to be able to think about how you can apply it. So I hope you'll be able to see my perspective. So what I, in the brief, want to impress upon you is that in today's world, every businesses that has got a good process will eventually go into high tech. That is to AI their business. A very simple example that happens into our day-to-day life is the restaurant. Nowadays in the restaurant, there is this robot that moves around. So you see that how the robot moves around is a process. Isn't that true? It is a process because we tell the robot what to do at every point of engagement, right? And this every point of engagement, the more data you collect, the better the robot will behave. Okay, so I want to give you you can visualize right now that in a restaurants, right? Eventually one day, a robot, maybe a person was standing at a gate, All right. When you were the door side, when you walk into the restaurant door, there's a face recognition camera that took your face. Okay. And you know that in Singapore, when you go through the immigrations in Singapore, we don't need a passport anymore. We just need a face, our face, to our passport. The moment they recognize our face, our data are being collected, verified, and then confirm that we are Singaporeans and we get through. Now, in the same way, I believe one day every business will be working that way. Example, restaurants. When you walk in, the camera took your face, go to that big data. Oh, suddenly they found out, oh, Ken Bay came to my restaurant 2 weeks ago and he ordered steaks with butter top up, garlic, crispy garlic or whatever, and he insisted on just a salmon steak, okay, and he ordered a coffee after his meal, but he has not given good feedback because one of our staff didn't behave well, for example. So now, when the first recognition took me, it goes into the processing, and as a result, the AI passed the information to this particular robot. The moment I walk in, to my surprise, the robot greet me. Oh, Mr. Kembe, welcome back. All right, that sort of things, no? And you know that the robot may know where is my most preferred sitting. And for all you know, he will wheel himself and show me the way to the table that I prefer. And eventually, this whole process will take place in the manner that human beings set it up. The only difference is that data actually helps this particular robot to get sharper and sharper and better and better. And as a result, when Ken Bay leave this time round, he's full of smile, satisfaction, and he even put in with a QR code, he even sent in the tips. All right. So things change. And what I'm trying to impress upon you, ladies and gentlemen, is that everything that it is now, as long as you have a step-by-step process, right? You would be able to collect data. And when you are able to collect data with what we are seeing in AI right now, it will process it. And once it processes it, you are able to come out with some very good solution. The only difference is that AI gives us solution. It doesn't teach us how to solve problems. Isn't it true? So what it means is that when you have a process, it will be 200% soon that you will move towards, you'll be thinking how to high-tech your business. All right. And with the assistance of AI, the chances is that 50% of your process will then be AI. And the other 50% will be, if it's your corporate culture, it's the people that will make the difference. So I call it the high touch. So the harsh realities of today's change are now crashing on. The only hope for us to exist as human beings is high touch. All right. Where is our high touch skills, ladies? What are the things that are so needed by us to keep us relevant in today's world, with the backdrops of how there's no stopping in how AI has rewrite the games? Right? So what are the skills that we need? What are the things that we need to do to make a difference? Remember that whatever that we found from ChatGPTs or AI, they give us options, they give us solutions. It is people like us that will have to do some critical thinking in the real world, and to be able to sort of do problem solving and make decision so that we can move forward to achieve the results. Isn't that true? So having to say this, I think that the world going forward is about everyone will be asking yourself, if you're a business yourself, if you're an individual yourself, do I have a process to result? Do I have a process to results? No? All right. If I have a process to result, how do I use AI to create what I call AI agent. And I sort of believe that one day 50% of us are AI. Yeah? And it is now, if you are using so much of the ChatGPT, it has already personalized to your needs. So every time you suggest something and you ask something, the AI will go back to all that you have asked in the past to come up with the solutions that are relevant to you, or it is you in this case. All right. So with this in mind, businesses, individual, I believe that 50% of us will be AI. You like it or you don't. The other 50%, I call this authentic you. All right. That is you. Now, you and I are different. Our experience, the cultures that we come from, and all that sort of things. So we are different in many, many forms. And it is because we are different, and that is our advantage, that is our authentic advantage, that we will create our high-touch model, okay? So having to say this, I'm going to go on to explain to you what I mean, okay? So remember, going forward, you need to rewire yourself towards process to results. Leverage on technology, whether you love it or you don't, all right? You got to learn AI. You got to learn how to use AI and think about what are the high-touch model that you're building. I give you another examples. 2 years ago, when ChatGPT came out, I was with a university principals and owner. So they are very popular in Vietnam. So I was suggesting to them, hey, why don't you guys set up an AI campus? Okay, so they look at me and say, hey, what is this about? I say, every universities wanted to be able to attract more students to come in, all right, enrollment. Many university has got lecturer that are very popular among students. So one of the things that I suggest is that why do you turn all your top lecturer into avatar lecturer? So scan all the document, the process into AI and make them available 24/7. All right. So this avatar AI is available 24/7. And you know what? Today, young people, they work after midnight, They are very opposites from the traditional form. So if you can make lecturer available for them to catch up with their homework, ask questions and all that, the university will already be one step up, no? Then the owner of the university asked me another question. He said, hey, if you want the lecturer to be now an AI, so what does the lecturer do? All right. Isn't that lecturer got nothing more to do, I say, look here, the lecturer will be very happy because now they are 24/7 as a robot and they get loyalties from people using them on the AI. What is really important is that let's focus on the high-touch skills of lecturer. Lecturers should focus on counseling students. Lecturers should focus on attracting Samsung to the universities and create job for the top students. Lecturers should focus on startup. Emerging market startup is the key to inspire new businesses from the young generations. Lecturers should supervise startup. Lecturers should inspire young people to try new things. Okay. Now, so you see, these are what I call the high-touch work, the high-touch skills that the lecturers should have to be able to differentiate themselves against the rest. Example, if I'm a lecturer, I'll be thinking how to get to Samsung, or Apple, the top company that work with them, so that I can bring the employer, all right, the demand of a job to the top students of my university. And I makes a difference because it is my relationship with Apple or Samsung, HR department maybe. So you see, these are what we call the high-touch skills. We might be B2C salesmen, all right? Some of you are from direct sales. I was from the insurance business and so on. Very B2C. Have you ever take a step backward and think about, maybe my high touch skill is to turn all this B2 skill that I have, all right, find out how we could use AI to generate CEO, government, all right, B2B and B2G government content, so that I can use this skill and level up myself into different marketplace. And that is the high touch skills that you can process. And it is already in us, that we are so good at people. All we need to do is to understand, to adjust our process to result, so that we can leverage on AI towards a new marketplace that you want to get in. Now, having to say this, I'll show a little bit of details what I mean by the high touch skills. Okay. Now, I don't know why the slide doesn't move. Okay. Now, so with this in mind, there you go. Now, I wanted to stress to you all, that what I meant by high touch skills or the soft skills that's needed, to me, is that everything is a process, okay, including this set of 7 critical soft skills. I'm going to break it down into 4 levels, okay? Remember, it goes from bottoms up. Okay, this is a process. It is a process that you should really seriously think about when you are building yourself in the most challenging environment. Okay, number 1 skills, as you can see, is self-motivations. Okay, now you notice that the foundations of able to self-motivate yourself is the key to every skill that you want to learn. Okay? If you don't even know how to self-motivate yourself, the skills to self-motivate yourself, you don't need to think about success or learning any other skills, or even to suggest AI to you. So you see that every soft skill begins with self-motivation skill. Now, let me tell you that what then is self-motivation skill is the end. What about the process? Ladies and gentlemen, my belief is that the process to become a great self-motivator is self-coaching skill. Now, you'll be surprised that how we motivate ourselves makes a lot of difference, and there is a process to do self-coaching. Now, remember that what is coaching? Basically, coaching is about starting with a goals, a SMART goal, we call it, and then set up your timeline, everything. And in that process towards result, you must know what are the different components. Example, motivations from inside out is what comes from inside out. Okay, like for example, when you want to do coaching, you got to ask yourself, what is the reason I want to do it? All right, do I believe that I can do it? All right, do I believe that the goals that I set is really a SMART goal? These are what we call the self-motivation skill. And how do you take personal responsibility? Okay, and from there, how do you create a system where every day you remind yourself until you achieve the goal? That is motivations from inside out. Now, once motivations from inside out, once you grill or once you set the ground, you'll be looking at motivations from outside in. You got to be able to draw motivation, energy from outside in. So what do I mean by that? Once you self-motivation from inside out, you'll be looking at how do I draw energy? How do I find people? So what you do is that you probably got to use your imagination, your knowledge to look at what are the things that you need to do and set them in great priorities and look at who can you get them involved to help you to achieve the goals. And having to say this, you may look out for a mentor, you may look out for a coach, you can look out for somebody, your leaders, to be able to guide you to stay accountable every day, remind you until you achieve the goals. And to achieve those goals, because it's all tasks and all that, do you have a system to record it? So you see, this is what I call a process to result, a coaching, self-coaching skill. So remember, in all structures of soft skill, high touch skill, it always begins with self-motivation skill. And self-motivation skill, it's about self-coaching yourself day by day to make sure that until the day you achieved it, you should continue to stay motivated from inside out, draw energies from outside in, work with the leaders or whoever you're in so that you can monitor, manage yourself towards the goals that you want to set. So remember, without self-motivation, you can't do many, many things out there. Now, assuming that you already have a strong self-motivation skill, very determined, know exactly you got a great mentors, people around you, the next level, I call it, begins with communication skill. So you notice that everything that we do, I always say is that we need to be able to communicate, right? But communication is not just what we learn from textbook, ladies and gentlemen. The process to get the result is selling, right? Communication, it is about communication with an outcome. When you communicate with an outcome, technically it's known as selling. So you notice that anyone, you believe me, anyone that can sell never die. And that's a fact. Okay. There's a saying that actually marketing is spending money, selling is making money. So that's what businessmen love. If you sell, you'll bring in the revenue. If you market, you'll be thinking how to use social media and all that until cow come home, spend a lot of money, still don't have results, no? So I tell you that more businesses are looking at, hey, look here. All right, you go out there, communicate, do networking. Where is the outcome? That is selling. Teachers sell, production supervisors sell, leaders sell, salesmen sell, doctors sell, accountants sell. Everybody sells, all right, because they want an outcome. So selling is basically communication skill objective. So if you engage a dialogue with an objective, is technically selling, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you communicate for what? You need to sell because you need to have leadership skill. Leadership skill is all about inspiring people with your vision. Every day your leader will tell you, come on, you do this because you wanted to achieve goals. You want to become a millionaire, or you wanted to bring back home to your families food and everything else. So leaders sells, but the only difference is that leaders are like painter. They sell visions, okay? They inspire people along the way. And what they do is that it is all about vision. So you notice that leaders is basically able to communicate very, very well with their vision. And yeah, they are able to align the vision into the person that they are leading and get aligned, and so that both persons will work together towards the vision. And that's what leader does. Communicate leader, inspiring and honest. Remember, they already understand what is motivations, okay? Because it begins with self-motivation skill. Leaders sells vision, and they sell it so well. Okay, they sell it to the point that they are able to draw a whole lot, the whole world following them, and that's what leader does. Now, one of the things that you need to communicate because you need to be able to be very good at teamworking skills. Now, you notice that social media, internet has created another kind of world where people get more lonely. They are limited themselves to the screens and all that sort of thing. The key skills of the soft skill or the high touch skill is technically team working. How do you work with a co-worker? And I used to say that teamworking is about teamworking upstream, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean by that? I give you, just now I cited an example. Many of you are maybe in a direct sales market, B2C. Upstream teamworking skill is to be able to to communicate upwards into B2B and B2G. And that was exactly what I did when I started to work with most of you in iBlooming. What I did was really to inspire you as a leader to make sure that we all work towards the upstream team working strategy. That is to work with the banks, work with the telco company, work with the government, ministry and all that to adopt iBlooming GIM, isn't it? And there are a lot of skills that you probably, when we were all together, think about how to improve, what to learn and all that. This is what I meant by team working skill upwards. All right, your teamwork with your CEO, with your leader, with your customers, all right, with the partners, with the government, with the CEOs of the world and all that sort of thing. These are team working skill upstream. Now, these skills, it's even so more important for us, especially many of us are in the sales. Like me, I was in insurance sales. I wanted to be able to do personal financial planning for top people or with the companies, you know. So I wanted to inspire you today that, look here, don't teamwork downstream, okay? Learn how to teamwork upstream to your customers, to the people that are bigger than you. And that is where your skills, you will be making a lot of difference, because you got iBlooming, you got GIM. Go out there to the ministry and sell to the world of governments, to the world of MNCs, to tell them that we're going to bring the word to them, all right, to help their employer to study at the lowest possible cost. No? And this is what I meant by team working skill upstream. Okay, so you see that this is now the second level of skill. Okay, now the third level of skill, number 1, 2, the third level is 2 very critical skills that actually ChatGPT AI has made it so easy, right? ChatGPT give us solutions now. We don't need to be so smart. No? We ask a certain question, set the prompter right, create a real good scenario with your roles and your responsibility. ChatGPT or the AI give you good options. Okay, having to give you good options, what you need to do, what are the skills that you need? You need to be able to do what I call problem solving skill. Okay, you need to take one options and go and implement it with the people that you know, okay, so that you will get the results. Now, remember the problem solving skill. The way to look at problem solving skill, it is always asking yourself that, if I solve this problem, what is the value to me? Okay, how much does it worth to me? As the saying goes, if you're a CEO, you solve bigger problems than production supervisor. So you notice that the bigger problems we solve, the bigger value we offer to your organizations. Okay, so you notice that what inspires us to do problem solving, it is when we know that there's an incentive there. For example, if I'm going to close this deal, okay, this government deal and so on or so, all right, I know that this problem is bigger. But if I solve that problem and the reward is so big, all right, the value of the reward is so big, I will be inspired. Remember, everything begins with self-motivations, isn't it? So problem-solving skill is always trying to figure out, is it worth doing this? A lot of people runs away from problem, okay? And that is a fact. If you don't want to have any problem, do a simple job, all right? Do something simple like sweeping the road or cleaning the thing, because you don't need to think so hard, no? Because there's no problem to solve except to keep the road clean, no? Right? But soon you'll be replaced by a machine for sure, no? But what I'm trying to say is that when you are able to look at a problem alongside with the values that you bring to the society and to yourself, to your family, you will make a difference. Remember that the bigger problems you solve, the bigger persons you are. Don't, you know that because the world has got problem, it need people like us. Okay? There must be a crisis, will then be a big problem to solve. And with the big problems in mind, this is where you bring your value to the table, ladies and gentlemen. So you remember, when you do a problem-solving process, you need to know what value can you bring to yourself, to the society, to your family, or to the businesses that you're in. So the key words to problem solving is values. Okay. Now, the next thing about this level of critical thinking, working with people, communicating with people, having self-motivation, all right, is decision making. The hardest things in life we always face up with is to make decisions. Right? Sometimes we run away from making decisions. Without decisions, there's nothing ahead of us. So you see, like it or not, having a decision is better than no decisions. Huh? There are a lot of people that just gone to, oh, wait, let's wait for everyone to say something, you know, or let's wait for my leader to say something, you know, let's wait here, let's wait. No decisions are made. When no decisions are made, you lose time, all right? You may lose the respects of people, all right? You will not be able to implement the process that you have the values of problem solving. So ladies and gentlemen, decision making is about making a decision itself, the decision itself. Okay, and with this in mind, I call this critical thinking process as the third level of high touch skills. And ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, the last level is commonly known as time management skill. But why are we doing time management? Come on, there's no value in time management as far as I'm concerned. Huh? It is what I call deadline management. Where in the world of time management now? By the time you finish up the job and you're slow, you already lost the job, no? At the end of the day, why it is a deadline? Because every deadline comes with results. Isn't that true? Everything that we are doing, but the bottom line is delivering results. Time management is, you can learn all the urgent, not urgent, all right, important, not important quadrants and so on. The bottom line is that, are you able to achieve the results in that time frame? If you are not able to, achieve the results, you were never able to achieve the outcomes of whether it's your home, your family, your corporates, your businesses, and so on. That's the reason why time managements are always linked to this key powerful word called deadline. Okay, you got to ask yourself when you are practicing time management, what is your deadline, ladies and gentlemen? No? All right. So with this in mind, you notice that what we are talking about is the high touch skills are made up of a structural soft skills in 4 steps upwards: self-motivations, communications, all right, where leaders come in and teamworking skill comes in. Third level being the critical thinking skills in terms of where do you identify your value in problem solving and to be able to create decisions than not making decision. Eventually, the last part is to be able to stick to deadline and achieve your results. And I can tell you that AI can't do this, all right? AI can never do this critical skills that will make a difference in you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, having to say this is what I am trying to put to you, that look here, the harsh reality of changes bring us back to this reckoning that everyone talking about soft skill, all right, building trust and all that. Nobody talks about process to results. Okay, so the soft skill, in my opinion, is the 4 tiers of results that you must be really, really good at to make a difference to the world of change. Right. And having to say this very quickly, I want to bring you to the next slides. No? Is my time's up? Is my time's up? About time's up, right? All right. So
Yeah.
with this, I wanted to end up with this very important process to results. Okay. You see that it all begins with this quadrant. Now, having to say this, always remember that, ladies and gentlemen, it from an individual that's you. What is the process to results? The process to result is really begins with the mindset. Okay. You can have a positive, there's no time for negative mindset anymore. It's either you are positive or you die, all right. Because a lot of you will soon not realize that a lot of the world are replacing you if you're negative, no. If you're still wondering who you should be and what you should be, be who you be. All right, be good at it, have the right mindset, positive mindset, grow mindset. Right? So what do we do is that you need to be able to have that, like what I call a clear vision. Your value system is important. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, there are many ways to make money. There are people that make money that can never go back home and sleep well. So make sure that you make your money, all right, with the right value systems. And with this, you know very well that we are at a different stage, different cultures of our life. That's the reason why having goals, having objective in life will makes a lot of difference. And I want to assure you that profiling program from iBlooming, right, will be the beginning of AI agent. All businesses will all start with personal profiling. It is a business profiling. It is your profiling, because once you're able to identify that particular profile, you are able to create an agent of you eventually. And with this in mind, that was really the reason why, if you know yourself well, right, you know what are the skills that are needed to be able to apply, take actions with discipline, and to get results. That is what I meant, process to results. Okay. And from a business angle, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a businesses, it is all about what is the purpose of the business. iBlooming purpose is to be able to help people to be able to reskill, upskill, so they can survive better in a new world. Okay. And with this in mind, we really need to understand that, look here, businesses, whether they are startup, whether they are in a stage of corporatization and institutionalization, it has got a certain unique values in them. Leaders like you will make a lot of difference to understand at which part of the business cycles that you're in, so that you will be able to align visions, and the vision has got to be translated into powerful behavior in your organization, so that you are able to ensure that attitude, I call it the right knowledge, the right attitude, the right skills and action. I call it the CASA, to then be able to get the results that you want. It is still, from the business side, a process to results. So having to say this, ladies and gentlemen, whether we all like it or not, I keep repeating these statements, all right? 50% of our world will be centered around AI. The other 50% is authentic you. And that authentic you and you that nobody can copy. You are just different. You are just special. It is in that 4 level of soft skills that you need to be able to build up in a way that you can differentiate yourself to the rest of the world and stay relevant in your businesses, in the way that your country needs you, all right? In the way that your family would look at you as a role model, ladies and gentlemen. And with this, thank you very, very much. Back to you, Vika.
Okay, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mr. Ken Bay. It was very amazing, actually. Very, very relevant to the things that are happening today. Talking about the AI agent, because you said that iBlooming can be the starting or the beginning of AI agent, right?
Sure.
So I would like to ask one question before we go to the next, because there are some questions already in the chat room. But in your experience, how can this program of GIM further empower learners and educators worldwide to create meaningful change? And I believe not only like educators, learners, but all of us, right? Because you said that 50%, 50%. I guess it was very relevant with my question here.
Number one is GIM brings practitioner like us to you. All right. I'm sure many of you are not exposed to many practitioners. Okay. Mainstream education are under fire, whether you like it or you don't too. Right. Education system has now been struggling with the emergence of AI, and students are able to use AI and churn out their projects before even the lecturer finish their lecture. And that's the reality. Now, number one is that iBlooming are able to bring practitioner to the world, to you, to your world rather, in one way or another. And many of us here, like myself, we are all practitioner. I am one person that I don't talk when I don't do, all right? I don't believe in speaking without experience or wisdom, all right? So having to say this, the next thing is really about you. If you wanted to survive in some of you are from iBlooming, think about the 7 soft skills that I was talking about just now. Okay, remember process to results, everything. Once you're able to do this in clarity, I mean, you'll find that AI will be very useful to you, because the prompter that you set, the AI agents that you build within the ChatGPT environment, that's the first thing first to do, right? Will then be able to give you all the solutions, and that's where you started to use your soft skill and stay authentically relevant in the world. Okay. And with this in mind, iBlooming actually developed a profiling program. We are pretty unique because we combine generative AI. We leverage on AI to be able to generate the Asian science, which data has already been very, very big in the world. When we look at numerologies to astrologies to many forms of a profiling program where we can identify a person's way at above with their blood types and so on, generative AI already create this powerful profiling program. What iBlooming does is to create a profiling program for learner, so that eventually they understand themselves, so that they can learn better. So this iBlooming, iMetric in this case, is a powerful program I hope eventually we'll be able to use across the education industries. Okay. To get there, of course, iBlooming need all of you to champion it. All right. And with this in mind, what we are doing is to continue to build education technology AI driven, so that learner can quickly be upskilled and reskilled, and so that they stay relevant in a changing world like this. It is getting more and more scary when people doesn't change. Right? The most consistent things in life is change, and this is a reality right now. We see people losing job. When you lose job, you get hungry. When you get hungry, you get angry. All right. So you gotta stay cool. So I think the values of iBlooming, GIM. Well, I congratulate all of you to continue to support these movements. Back to you, Vika.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, some part of it has already explained what I also want to present today, because maybe it makes all of you. Thank you so much anyway. By the way again, but this is just the opening, that is like, I believe that because Ken says a lot of things about uh, GIM and eye blooming, not a lot of things actually, just a little bit, right? But it makes you curious. I just want to explain a little bit more about this. Maybe what is GIM? What is eye blooming? Why Ken Bei is so very passionate about it? You can see that he was on fire when talking about the AI and everything, right? Especially the soft skills that we need to get. So I would like to share with you a little bit before going to the questions. Okay, is it okay, everyone? Can okay, yeah. Yeah, so let's see here. So you will be able to know, oh, what can I get from this eye blooming and GIM, right? This eye blooming is actually an AI powered online learning platform that can help us actually to get this high touch and everything that can be actually have already presented before. And it is actually very unique compared to the other AI platform because it is for we have the character profiling, like to get to know ourselves, like what Ken already said, and also AI translation engine and AI powered learning. So what it means by this character profiling is that we have iMatrix. iMatrix is actually a combination of ancient Eastern wisdom, modern Western science, and AI fusion intelligence that can give us the insight about who we are, right? So when we know ourselves, then we will be able to start to know what we have to learn, right? And here you can get some reports about yourself. So after you actually fill up the data, and then this AI from iMatrix will give you some profiling report about your characteristics, your professional life, etc., etc. So there are so many things, actually, so many types here. We have the free one, which is very basic, the basic profiling report, which I can see that it is quite precise. And foundation report for $3, professional expert report, and even we have love and relationship. This has been always the favorite for everyone, and career and wealth as well. Wow, very amazing, yes. And the next also for this, we will have the character overview report. Other than that, we will also have our angel. It's like we call it iBoomi. So this iBoomi will give you the colors, what kind of person you are, the colors, the color tone, personality traits, and other things. Yeah, this is the foundation report, professional report, and also love and relationship report, career and wealth, like what I mentioned earlier. And we will be given our own color. So what color are you? Then you will be able to see whether you are green like Momo or blue like Wowo, Yaya, and also the other six, Fafa, Fifi, and others, right? This is very interesting. And what they will do is that they don't only give you some picture, but also they will give you some guidance throughout the day. Like this today, for example, when you click your apps here, and then you will see your energy level today, and then also your love advice, also vegetables and musics and flowers which are suitable for you on that day. Okay, so every day will be changing and it will be different for everyone. So it's very unique. Very unique. You cannot find it anywhere, I believe. And you also will get, because you already know about yourselves, right? And based on your characteristics, based on your strengths and weaknesses, then you will be able to get the recommendation of what videos you have to learn. You can see also we have Ken Bei there, and also the others, of course, from all over the world. What kind of videos that you are suggested to see, to learn from. And then it will be very on point. The channel providers, the videos that you can see they don't only come from individuals, but also corporate channel providers, and also even the kids, right? And they come from all over the world, hundreds of them, right? Hundreds of them and thousands of videos, including in this case, e-course and ebook, all right? Very amazing. And even this is a very special thing about this iBlooming is the AI translation. So this AI translation, this is the example. He will be, because he comes from from England. So he will be speaking in English. Actually, originally he speaks in English, but he will be translated into other languages. You will be able to see after this. Can you see it? Can you hear?
Hello, I'm John Bercow. For 22 years I was a Member of Parliament. For over 10 years I served as Speaker of the House of Commons. Halo, saya John Bercow. Selama 22 tahun saya menjadi anggota Parlimen. Lebih dari 10 tahun saya menjabat sebagai Ketua Dewan Rakyat. Suspekខ្ញុំឈ្មោះច័ន្ទបឺកូ
Then, now
ខ្ញុំ
it's
ធ្លាប់ជាសមាជិកសភារយៈពេល 22 ឆ្នាំ ជាសភាតំណាងរាស្ត្ររយៈពេលជាង 10 ឆ្នាំ ហើយជាវាគ្មិននិយាយសាធារណៈរយៈពេលជាង 40 ឆ្នាំ สวัสดีครับ ผมชื่อตอมเบอร์คาว
Thai.
เป็นเวลา 22 ปีที่ผ่านมาผมเป็นสมาชิกรัฐสภามากกว่า 10 ปีผมดำรงตำแหน่งประธานสภาสามัญชน大家好我是张伯考我曾担任议会议员22年担任下议院议长超过10年
Okay, amazing, right? So, it is done by AIs, and even you can see the lip is very synchronized, right? So it's very amazing. So you will be able to learn from other people that who speak in other languages. It will be very, very amazing, right? Very helpful. And as you know, also Kenbei already emphasized how the development of AI is very, very amazing. According to the World Bank, they say that 44% of skill will change within 5 years due to AI, and at least they will be automated. Okay, so it will be very concerning if we don't want to reskill or upskill ourselves. So we have to reskill and upskill. It's a must. Yeah, it's no more optional. So what we do here in iBlooming with the program called GIM, Global iLearning Movement, we will give you the educators and to be in front of you, right, the iLearners with high values, because as Kenbei said, they are practitioners. They are not only smart in theories. Okay, so they really do what they talk about. So that's why they are very high values, and we will get high benefit from them only for super low cost. So this is very, very interesting, in which you will be able to learn from all these people every day. Yeah, Monday to Saturday, even sometimes one day there will be also more than one sessions. So here, like for example, we have Monday, we have 2 sessions, iLearn Mission and iLearn Digiteracy. This is in October, last November, just now. And then Tuesday, we have this GIM preview like today, and Wednesday is iLearn for general topics, and iLearn Entrepreneur, iLearn Theology, and also iLearn Mindfulness on Thursday. There are 3 sessions on Thursdays, and Friday also we have this iLearn Health, and Saturday iLearn Dharma. So there are lots of things to learn actually with only very, very super low cost. You will be very much surprised to see this cost, all right, to see the fee, because it's only $2 per month. And even better, because you are here tonight and you are very special people, and we will give you special price for only $1 per month. But you have to get the link from the people who invited you here, all right? So it is very amazing. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee. Now, with that price also, you can also go to iBlooming.ai. Right? After this session, you can go and browse iBlooming.ai so that you will be able to register. And after that, you will get the free character profiling. Okay, later on, I will show you. Okay, at the end of the session. So that was from me. Now we can go to the questions. I know that all of you wants to ask questions. But because of the time constraint, for the time interest, I will take maybe only 1 or 2 questions. Is it okay? Yeah, so Mr. Kenbei, here we have some questions for you, right? Not for me, luckily, because this is very, very important questions. So it should be answered by the expert. So from Pak Muklis from Qatar, the question number 1 is about AI and worker transition in 2023. A manufacturing firm in Germany integrated AI for predictive maintenance. Senior technicians struggled to adapt while younger staff embraced the change. How can companies design inclusive upskilling programs that bridge generational gaps in AI adoption? I think this happens everywhere, right? Yeah, this gap happens everywhere. So how about that?
Well, I'm speaking from where I come from. I think one of the biggest challenge of many jobs are replaced because uh, of the ego. I kind of feel that a lot of us felt that we had reached a certain level of our life. For example, some of us are close to retirement. Some of us are in our comfort zone. Some of us think that our job will always be there, and no one is going to replace us. So I feel that the number one challenge is that old worker themselves. The younger one has got no problem because they are so good at reading instruction. For me to read instruction is a drag. I rather die, Now, so for the young people, they are good at reading processes and so on. So this is a typical example that people of a more senior age group, there's a need of mindset change. And sometimes I feel that this is really, really a big challenge until something hard hit them. For example, they got fired and realized, oops. So then they will then decide whether, am I going to retire or am I going to upskill and reskill themselves? All right. So I think that it all begins with the mindset. And that sort of things in Singapore has been also an equal challenge. And in fact, government has put in a lot of free money incentive for older people to be able to learn AI in this case. So I don't know whether answer to the questions or not. I felt that the biggest challenge is actually the mindset of this older workforce. The second part of it, beyond this, is really to create an environment. Even Singapore has given a lot of free courses for simple AI skills and so on. Yet, there's still a majority of people that just refuse to go out there and get themselves upskill and reskill. So, is there solutions to it? Then it goes back, if it's a company, all right? Company will now, it's a culture. I give you a real example. I was one of the key persons to implement e-sign for an insurance company. You know what the CEO in a big conference tell everyone? They say this to everyone. That was many, many years ago when everyone got to adopt computer because we are doing e-sign. The CEO on the stage told everyone, he says that the doors are there. If you guys refuse to use the computer that we're going to give you, you must well go, no? So this is a very interesting threat from the top person. There's a lot of noise among the salespeople, but one thing was interesting was the company worked with association like me, leader like me. We have already created a lot of groundwork so that when the persons are angry, they have a place to go to, no? So when they go to our training, we get them on. And nowadays, nobody, after a few years later, nobody will walk around without a computer in their bag so that they can e-sign. So what I'm saying is that it's like the game has been rewritten. We rather be hard than to be nice, no? Because very soon, we have got a bigger problems to solve. That's to counsel, to solve social issue where many people lost job. As I say that when people lose job, they got no money, they get hungry, they get angry, All right. When they get angry, you got a bigger problem. in a corporate environment. So dealing with harsh reality needs harsh decisions and harsh actions, no? Followed by some good preparations. I believe we will get over it. No? Yeah. So that's my answer.
Okay. So here we actually have some more questions, right? Maybe only one more. Maybe you can answer shortly because of the time interest.
Yeah, okay.
It is about e-learning disruption. An Indonesian startup launched AI curated micro-learning for vocational skills, attracting thousands of blue-collar workers. Traditional training centers saw declining enrollment. But what innovations must legacy institution adopt to stay relevant to the AI-driven e-learning market? That is actually the main question, right?
What
What innovations?
innovations? Yeah.
What innovations must legacy institutions adopt to stay relevant to the AI-driven e-learning market?
Okay, my opinion, a very quick opinion is the easiest thing when people start to adopt Google is to get them to use Google and show them how to use Google. My view is that to show people how powerful ChatGPT is, just to get started. I am overwhelmed by the answers, the options, the solutions that ChatGPT can give us. I feel that taking the first step of ChatGPT will then be able to spread out to the interests of many other AI apps. Right? So my straightforward answer is that get them to learn simple things like ChatGPT because it's free anyway. Well, this will be the first step. And when they see the amazing power of what ChatGPT does for them, even to give them instructions and so on, I tell you, the next step becomes easy. So there's this saying goes that think big, you got to start very small, no? Right? And you got to do it fast before they lose their job, no? So I think that we can think big. The changes are big, massive, but we got to get them to start very small. So my suggestion is start from something that's free of charge, ChatGPT. Yeah, so that's my answers.
Okay, so then they will be more curious and they will learn more, right?
The rest of the world, the rest is history.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kenbei. There is actually one more question, but it is about the program. It says, well, nice to meet you all. Maybe, yeah. Is this program available in China? For Mr. Fish, I I I will note your email and also your name, and also I suggest that you can contact the person who invited you here. Then they will give you more explanation about it. All right, and see you hopefully in Indonesia. Yeah. Okay. Oh, been long time not going to Sun Sun though. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenbei. Also, so very, very happy to meet you again. Thank you so much for the knowledge and the wisdom. And thank you also for all the participants who are already here and who have asked questions as well. But don't go anywhere yet because I have some announcements to make here. Yeah. Okay, this is the one that I promised you. You can browse after this iblooming.ai and then start to register, and you can click the test now here. Yeah, the test now. Then you can click and you can test yourselves and you will get the character profiling. It will be very amazing. You will be able to see your color, your weaknesses, your strengths, etc. And then the next one, yeah, this is the way we register. Okay, so you can go to login first above, and then you can choose register. You can put your data there for free, yeah. And also the test now, also the character profiling also is for free. And don't forget also to subscribe to GIM. You can get the link from your friends who invited you here to get the 50% discount. So you will only pay $1 per month. All right. And the next one, don't forget for tomorrow, for next Tuesday, we will also have another preview. Stay tuned, right? At 7 p.m. and also the same. Right. And the next, yeah, this is very amazing. For tomorrow, we will have Mr. Michael Wahab. Yeah, he will be talking about the VAKD. What is that? Then you have to join us, yeah, tomorrow as persuasive communication tools. Okay, and also he is a professional trainer with more than 10 years of experience as a professional trainer, 18 years in the commercial sector. Michael Wahab delivers a strong combination of industry experience and learning expertise in every session. Like what Mr. Ken already says, that the practitioners are here, yeah, not only theories that they will give, but also how to apply. And here, the next one is about a special evening program, which is called Supper and Mindfulness. In this session, this will be held every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Jakarta time, together with Pak Onggi Hianata. We will learn to embrace the evening as a moment of mindfulness, learning to reduce stress, enhance focus, and realign our inner selves in the middle of the busyness of modern life. So don't forget to join. This is very beautiful session actually. And the next one is a new island series as well. Every Saturday, 11 a.m. Jakarta time, sponsored by PT Nayaka Arta Sedana or Narada, a weekly learning series that invites us to deepen the values of Dharma in our daily life, which is more balanced, wise, and meaningful, with the topics like mental health, inner strength, leadership, communication, etc. Then we will be able to learn how to live our everyday living. And island theology. This is also very interesting because island theology is already in the second phase with the topic of Christian counseling every Thursday, 7 p.m. Jakarta time. Sponsored by STT Karisma Bandung. In this session, we will learn how God's love and truth restore hearts not only for our own, but also those of others. And this is the moment to understand that Christian counseling is not merely about helping, but about becoming a channel of God's healing love. So don't forget also the next our social media. Yes, follow us. Okay, follow, subscribe, or share, like our social media on Instagram, iBlooming_official, and on Facebook, iBlooming Global. So I guess that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you so much once again for our amazing speaker, Mr. Ken Bay. Thank you, Mr. Ken Bay. Hope to see you again very soon. Like what they say, we miss you already. So, it's been a long time not to see you personally. Yeah. And thank you also for all the participants. Thank you for the questions. And thank you also for the emojis, reactions. We can give some emojis, right, to show our excitement of having Mr. Ken Bay tonight. All right. So I will close this tonight's session. Good evening and see you again in the next island session. Bye-bye.